Fire cannot be contained. It transforms, it grows, it consumes everything in its path with a hunger that can never truly be satisfied. This is the essence of Aries, the Zodiac's first sign, born from cosmic flames and ruled by Mars, the planet of war, passion, and unstoppable determination. When an Aries sets their mind on something, the universe itself seems to bend to their will. They create their own reality through sheer force of belief, charging forward with such conviction that doubt cannot find purchase in their minds. Welcome, cosmic travelers, to another journey through the Zodiac. Today, we're diving deep into the untamable spirit of Aries, exploring why these fiery souls follow their own cosmic blueprint, refusing to be contained by anyone or anything. The very attempt to control an Aries is like trying to hold lightning in your bare hands. Magnificent, but impossible without getting scorched. The ram stands alone at the dawn of the zodiac cycle for a reason. They are the pioneers, the trailblazers who walk where others fear to tread. This positioning is no cosmic accident. Aries embodies the primal burst of creation itself. They represent that initial spark that ignites the universe into being. How could such a force ever be controlled or contained? Their energy predates the very concept of limitations. Think about the Aries people in your life for a moment. Notice how they move through the world with an almost supernatural confidence. While others might hesitate before a challenge, calculating risks and potential outcomes, an Aries has already leapt into action, trusting that the path will reveal itself through movement rather than contemplation. This isn't recklessness, it's their unique form of wisdom. They understand on a soul level that hesitation is often more dangerous than action. The Aries spirit speaks to something ancient within all of us, that primal desire for complete freedom, for self-determination without compromise. Even those born under different signs feel a spark of recognition when witnessing an Aries in their full power. They remind us of our own capacity for courage, for trusting our instincts even when the rational mind counsels caution. In a world that constantly asks us to dim our light, to follow established paths, Aries shows us what it means to burn at full intensity without apology. The planets themselves tell the story of Aries' untamable nature. Ruled by Mars, the god of war, Aries carries within them the cosmic blueprint of the warrior. Not just any warrior, the one who fights for their own sovereignty above all else. Mars' energy doesn't recognize external authority. It answers only to the fire within, that inner compass that points unerringly towards self-actualization, regardless of obstacles. Before we continue exploring why attempting to control an Aries is truly a cosmic impossibility, take a moment to join our astrological family. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support allows us to continue bringing these cosmic revelations to light, and I promise you won't want to miss what the stars have in store for you in the coming weeks. What makes the Aries spirit so magnetic is that they embody freedom in its purest form. They remind us that our most authentic path often lies beyond the boundaries of convention, beyond what others deem possible or appropriate. Have you ever watched an Aries pursue their passion? There's something almost hypnotic about their single-minded focus, their absolute refusal to entertain doubt or limitation. This is just the beginning of our exploration into the untamable Aries spirit. As we continue, we'll uncover the specific cosmic forces that make these fiery individuals impossible to control, starting with their warrior spirit and that almost divine sense of self-belief that shields them from outside influence. Their Mars-ruled nature creates rebels who see restrictions not as walls, but as challenges to overcome, while their unshakable faith in their own path borders on spiritual conviction. The first reason, their fiery Mars energy makes them natural-born rebels who instinctively resist any attempt to control Mars, the ancient god of war, blazes across the cosmic landscape with unrelenting power. Now imagine this force concentrated into a single human spirit. This is the essence of an Aries. Their connection to Mars isn't merely symbolic. It manifests as a tangible energy that pulses through their veins, making rebellion not just choice, but an instinctual response to any perceived limitation. When you attempt to control an Aries, you're not simply facing a stubborn individual, you're confronting a primal cosmic force channeled through human form. This fiery Mars energy creates a unique relationship with authority that sets Aries apart from every other zodiac sign. Where Capricorn might respect traditional power structures and Libra might seek diplomatic compromise, Aries views any attempt at control as a direct challenge to their essential nature. It's not that they cannot recognize authority, rather they intuitively understand that true authority comes from within, not from external sources. Watch an Aries child on the playground. While other children might follow established games and rules, the young Aries invents their own, recruiting followers through sheer magnetic enthusiasm rather than conforming to existing structures. This pattern continues throughout life, becoming more refined but never diminishing in intensity. The adult Aries doesn't rebel for rebellion's sake. They simply cannot comprehend why they should follow paths created by others when they possess the fire to forge their own. This resistance to control operates at multiple levels simultaneously. On the surface, it manifests as a straightforward refusal to be told what to do. Dig deeper, and you'll discover that an Aries intuitively recognizes something that many miss, that most limitations are illusory constructs rather than immutable laws. They possess an almost supernatural ability to see through social conditioning, questioning assumptions that others accept without thought. The warrior aspect of Mars energy gives Aries not just the desire for freedom, but the courage to claim it. When faced with obstacles, they don't retreat into fantasy or resignation. They attack with a directness that often shocks those around them. This isn't aggression for its own sake, but rather a crystal clear understanding that dreams remain dreams until action transforms them into reality. The warrior doesn't merely wish for victory, they claim it through decisive action. What appears as simple stubbornness to outside observers is actually a sophisticated expression of cosmic alignment. And Aries isn't resisting control to be difficult. They're remaining true to their celestial blueprint, honoring the fierce independence that Mars has woven into the very fabric of their soul. To deny this nature would be to reject their authentic self, something Aries is cosmically incapable of doing. The second reason, Aries possesses an unshakable self-belief that borders on divine conviction. If Mars energy fuels the Aries rebellion, then their legendary self-belief gives it direction and purpose. This isn't ordinary confidence. It's a bone-deep certainty that transcends conventional understanding, bordering on spiritual conviction. And Aries doesn't merely think their path is correct. They experience it as divine truth, as indisputable as gravity or the rising sun. The origin of this self-belief lies in Aries' position as the Zodiac's firstborn. As the initial spark of the astrological cycle, they carry the pure creative energy of beginnings, untainted by doubt or past failures. This cosmic positioning creates a soul that inherently trusts its own impulses as expressions of universal will. When an Aries feels drawn toward a particular path, they don't question the impulse. They recognize it as cosmic guidance manifesting through their desires. This divine conviction creates a fascinating paradox. While it might appear as egotism to casual observers, an Aries' self-belief actually transcends ego. They don't see their choices as superior to others out of personal pride. They experience them as aligned with a higher purpose, with the natural flow of universal energy. The distinction is subtle but profound. Ego can be wounded and controlled, but divine conviction remains untouchable by external influence. Watch an Aries in the moments before making a significant decision. While others might gather endless opinions or agonize over potential outcomes, Aries often experiences a moment of profound clarity, a crystallization of certainty that feels less like deciding and more like recognizing what was already destined. This isn't impulsiveness, but rather a different relationship with decision-making altogether, one based on intuitive alignment rather than logical analysis. The depth of this self-belief creates a reality-warping field around an Aries. Their certainty is so complete, so unwavering, that it often manifests exactly what they envision through sheer force of belief. Where others see insurmountable obstacles, Aries perceives only temporary delays. This isn't naive optimism, but rather a profound understanding that belief shapes reality more powerfully than external circumstances ever could. This divine conviction renders conventional control tactics entirely ineffective. Logical arguments, social pressure, even emotional manipulation. All these approaches falter against the bedrock of Aries' self-belief. How can you convince someone to doubt themselves when they experience their choices as cosmically ordained? How can you redirect someone who perceives their path as divinely inspired? The Aries relationship with faith illustrates this principle beautifully. An Aries rarely adopts religious or spiritual systems wholesale. Instead, they extract what resonates with their inner knowing and discard the rest without hesitation. Their ultimate faith rests not in external doctrines, but in that inner flame of certainty that Mars has kindled within them. This selective approach to belief systems isn't disrespect, but rather an expression of their unwavering trust in their own spiritual discernment. What makes this self-belief particularly powerful is its action-oriented nature. While some signs might experience spiritual conviction as contemplative or internal, Aries expresses it through immediate, decisive movement. Their faith isn't theoretical. It's demonstrated through courage, through taking leaps that others would deem impossible or unwise. And remarkably, they often land exactly where they intended, as if the universe itself rushes to support their unwavering belief. This divine conviction creates a fascinating invulnerability to doubt. Even when faced with failure or setback, an Aries rarely questions their overall direction. They might adjust tactics or timing, but the core belief in their path remains unshaken. This isn't stubbornness in the conventional sense, but rather a profound understanding that temporary obstacles don't invalidate divine guidance. The river may encounter rocks, but it never questions its journey to the sea. The combination of these two cosmic forces, the rebellious Mars energy and this unshakable divine conviction, creates an individual who exists beyond the reach of external control. Like trying to direct the wind or command the tide, attempting to control an Aries isn't merely difficult. It fundamentally misunderstands their cosmic nature. The wise approach isn't to control, but to align, to recognize that an Aries in their power becomes not a subject, but a force of nature, reshaping reality through the sheer intensity of their belief and will. This barely scratches the surface of why controlling an Aries remains a cosmic impossibility. As we continue our exploration, we'll discover how their lightning-quick decision-making process creates a reality where influence becomes an afterthought, outpaced by action, before it can even take hold. The third reason, their lightning-quick decision-making happens before anyone can intervene. In the realm of decision-making, Aries exists in an entirely different temporal dimension than the rest of us. While most signs move through a methodical process of contemplation, consultation, and careful weighing of options, Aries inhabits a reality where action and decision are virtually simultaneous. This isn't impulsiveness. That would imply a lack of thought. Rather, it's a fundamentally different relationship with time and possibility, one where intuition and action merge into a single, seamless flow that happens at lightning speed. This rapidity creates an intriguing paradox. By the time someone attempts to influence or control an Aries decision, they're confronting a reality that has already shifted. The decision hasn't just been made mentally, it's been acted upon, set into motion, transforming potential energy into kinetic force. Trying to control an Aries in this context becomes like attempting to unring a bale or reverse a river's flow. Theoretically possible perhaps, but practically impossible. The neural pathways of an Aries brain appear to operate with supernatural efficiency. Where others might experience hesitation as their mind explores various outcomes and potential regrets, Aries experiences a direct connection between recognition and response. They see an opportunity, and their entire system, mind, body, and spirit, aligns instantaneously towards seizing it. This alignment happens below the threshold of conscious deliberation, operating at the speed of instinct rather than rationality. Ancient astrologers understood this quality. when they connected Aries to the element of fire. Fire doesn't deliberate before consuming fuel. It simply responds to opportunity with immediate, transformative action. This elemental quality manifests in Aries as decisiveness so rapid that it appears magical to slower moving signs. Before a Taurus has finished considering the practical implications, before a Libra has weighed all perspectives, before a Capricorn has assessed long-term consequences, Aries has already acted and moved on to the next horizon. This speed stems partly from Aries' unique relationship with fear. Where most signs experience fear as a signal to slow down and reconsider, Aries processes fear as excitement, as confirmation that they're pushing boundaries and exploring new territory. This neurological difference creates a being who doesn't need to overcome fear before acting. They've already transformed it into fuel for forward momentum, removing what for most people is the primary obstacle to decisive action. Observe an Aries entrepreneur when they recognize a market opportunity. While competitors are still conducting research and developing business plans, the Aries has already begun the cycle of action and adaptation that leads to mastery. This isn't recklessness, but rather a profound understanding that in many contexts, speed itself becomes the critical advantage. They intuitively grasp that perfectionism often serves as an elaborate form of fear, and they refuse to sacrifice momentum on that particular altar. The Aries decision-making process resembles quantum mechanics more than Newtonian physics. In quantum reality, observation itself affects outcomes, collapsing probability waves into concrete reality through the act of attention. Similarly, Aries doesn't so much deliberate between existing options as create new realities through the focused intensity of their attention and intention. They don't choose from a menu of possibilities. They manifest the option they desire through sheer force of will and immediate action. This rapid-fire approach to life creates a fascinating immunity to manipulation or control. Traditional influence tactics rely on intervening during the deliberation phase, when someone is weighing options and can be swayed by new information or persuasive arguments. But how do you influence a process that happens at the speed of instinct? How do you control someone who has already transformed thought into action before you've even recognized their intention? The wisdom traditions of many cultures speak of a state called no mind, a condition of perfect alignment where action flows without the interference of conscious deliberation. What most people spend decades of meditation attempting to achieve, Aries embodies as their natural state. Their decisions flow not from careful analysis, but from a place of perfect trust in their own instincts, in the wisdom of their immediate response to life's opportunities and challenges. This lightning decision process extends beyond major life choices to the fabric of everyday existence. Watch an Aries navigate a crowded street, respond to a sudden change in plans, or adapt to unexpected information. Their responses come not from careful consideration, but from a place of immediate, intuitive alignment with changing circumstances. They don't need to deliberate because they trust the wisdom of their instantaneous reactions more than they trust careful analysis. The Aries relationship with time itself differs fundamentally from other signs. While earth signs experience time as linear and methodical, while water signs perceive it as fluid and emotional, while air signs conceptualize it as a web of interconnected possibilities, Aries experiences time as a series of immediate, discrete moments. Each moment presents a fresh opportunity for decisive action, unconstrained by past hesitations or future anxieties. This temporal orientation creates a being who exists perpetually in what spiritual traditions call the eternal now, the only moment where authentic power can ever be exercised. This quality makes traditional control tactics not just difficult, but fundamentally irrelevant. Most attempts at control rely on manipulating someone's relationship with past or future, invoking guilt about previous actions or anxiety about future outcomes. But Aries exists primarily in the present moment, relatively unburdened by regret or anticipation. How do you control someone who inhabits each moment as a fresh opportunity, unbounded by psychological constraints that limit others? The velocity of Aries decision-making creates another fascinating immunity to control, the power of momentum. Physics tells us that a body in motion requires significantly more energy to redirect than a stationary object. By acting so quickly, Aries generates a psychological and practical momentum that would require enormous energy to counteract. By the time someone formulates a strategy for influence, the Aries is already 3 decisions ahead, having built momentum that carries them beyond the reach of control. This lightning decision process connects directly to the Aries' role as cosmic pioneers. As the first sign of the Zodiac, they embody the energy of beginnings, of pushing into unexplored territory. Evolution has always favored decisive action in frontier environments, where hesitation can mean the difference between survival and extinction. Aries carries this evolutionary wisdom in their cosmic DNA, moving with decisive speed, not from recklessness, but from an ancient understanding that new territory belongs to those bold enough to claim it without delay. The neural wiring that enables this rapid response doesn't recognize authority in conventional terms. While some signs might pause to consider, what would others think? Or, is this the accepted approach? Aries' brain chemistry bypasses these social filtering mechanisms entirely. Their decisions emerge from direct communion with their own desires and intuitions, unmediated by social consideration. This isn't selfishness, but rather a profound trust in the wisdom of their authentic impulses over external guidance or control. This lightning decision process creates beings who live by a profound truth that philosophers and mystics have recognized throughout history, that life can only be fully experienced through direct engagement, not through deliberation or analysis. While others might construct elaborate mental models before taking action, Aries understands that reality can only be known through immediate experience, through the wisdom that comes from diving in rather than contemplating from the shore. As we've explored this third cosmic reason why Aries remains beyond control, we begin to understand that attempting to influence them through conventional means fundamentally misunderstands their nature. Their decisions happen at a speed that outpaces external influence, creating a being who exists perpetually beyond the reach of control, always one step ahead, always already in motion toward their next horizon. The fourth reason, the Ram's legendary stubbornness isn't just persistence, it's a spiritual commitment to their chosen path. The stubbornness of Aries has become almost mythological in astrological circles, often misunderstood as simple inflexibility or a childish refusal to yield. But this perspective fundamentally misreads the cosmic nature of the Ram's persistence. What appears as mere stubbornness to outside observers is actually something far more profound, a spiritual commitment to their chosen path that transcends ordinary determination. For Aries, changing direction once committed isn't just inconvenient, it's experienced as a form of self-betrayal, a violation of their authentic nature. This commitment operates at multiple levels simultaneously. On the surface, it manifests as that famous Aries persistence, the unwillingness to abandon a course of action despite obstacles or opposition. Dig deeper, and you discover that this persistence stems from an almost mystical relationship with their own choices. When an Aries commits to a path, they aren't simply making a practical decision. They're engaging in an act of cosmic alignment, connecting their individual will with what they perceive as universal truth. The symbol of the ram illuminates this quality perfectly. In nature, rams don't change direction when facing an obstacle. They lower their heads and charge with greater force. This isn't mindless aggression, but rather a profound commitment to forward momentum as the solution to all challenges. The curved horns of the ram don't point in multiple directions, considering alternatives. They curve back toward a single point of focus, representing the Aries capacity for total commitment to their chosen direction. Ancient spiritual traditions recognize that true power comes not from considering endless options, but from complete dedication to a single path. The warrior traditions particularly understood that divided attention means divided power. Aries embodies this wisdom intuitively, focusing their considerable energy on their chosen direction with a single-mindedness that appears almost supernatural to more adaptable signs. This capacity for total commitment generates a force that often overcomes obstacles through sheer persistence rather than strategic maneuvering. What makes this stubbornness particularly resistant to control is its spiritual dimension. Aries doesn't experience their determination as a personal preference, but as alignment with deeper cosmic truth. Attempting to redirect them therefore becomes not just a practical challenge, but a spiritual confrontation. You're not simply suggesting an alternative approach. You're challenging what they experience as their soul's authentic expression. This transforms what might be a simple disagreement into a battle for spiritual integrity, a battle Aries is cosmically designed to win. This stubborn commitment creates a fascinating psychological immunity to manipulation. Most influence tactics rely on creating doubt, on opening space for reconsideration. But Aries experiences doubt differently than other signs. While a Gemini might perceive doubt as an invitation to explore alternatives, Aries typically experiences doubt as a test of their commitment, as an obstacle to overcome rather than a signal to reconsider. This transforms what would be psychological vulnerability in other signs into another source of strength for Aries. The Aries relationship with changing course reveals the depth of this stubborn commitment. When they do alter their direction, it rarely comes through external persuasion. Instead, it emerges from a profound internal realignment, a moment when their inner compass reorients toward a new truth that feels even more authentic than their previous past. This isn't compromise, but rather an evolution of their spiritual commitment, maintaining the integrity of their self-determination even as the specific direction changes. The fifth reason, Aries thrives on independence as their life force. Attempts to restrict this freedom trigger a primal survival response. If stubborn commitment represents Aries' relationship with their chosen past, then their need for freedom constitutes their relationship with existence itself. For Aries, independence isn't merely a preference or a personality trait. It's their primary life force, the essential energy that animates their entire being. Attempting to restrict this freedom therefore triggers not just resistance, but a primal survival response, as if their very existence were being threatened at the most fundamental level. This relationship with freedom has neurological foundations. The Aries brain appears wired to produce extraordinary amounts of dopamine and endorphins during autonomous action. Where other signs might find security in connection or stability, Aries experiences their highest neurochemical rewards when exercising independent choice and movement. This creates a being for whom freedom isn't just psychologically satisfying, but physiologically necessary, as essential as oxygen or water. The difference becomes clear when observing how various signs respond to restrictions. While a Taurus might assess the practical implications, while a Cancer might focus on the emotional impact, Aries experiences restrictions as an immediate threat to their vital energy. Their response isn't calculated or measured, but immediate and intense, a full system mobilization against what their body and spirit register as an existential threat. This need for freedom connects directly to the Aries' cosmic role as initiators of the Zodiac cycle. As the sign of beginnings, they embody the explosive potential of new creation, the initial spark that requires absolute freedom to ignite properly. Restricting an Aries, therefore, doesn't just limit an individual. It constrains a cosmic force designed to initiate new cycles of creation. The universe itself seems to support their rebellion against limitation, as if recognizing that constraining Aries means constraining the very principle of new beginnings. The relationship between Aries and freedom reveals itself most clearly in their approach to relationships. Where some signs might measure relationship success through harmony or stability, Aries assesses the relationships primarily through the lens of autonomy. The central question isn't, are we compatible, but rather, can I remain fully myself within this connection? Any relationship that requires significant compromise of their independence will eventually trigger that primal survival response, regardless of its other merits. This freedom imperative creates a fascinating approach to life's challenges. While some might seek security through external support or protection, Aries intuitively understands that true security comes only through self-reliance and the capacity for independent action. They don't want to be rescued. They want the freedom to rescue themselves. They don't seek protection. They demand the space to develop their own strength. This isn't pride, but rather a profound understanding that dependent security always comes at the cost of essential freedom. The Aries relationship with authority illuminates this freedom imperative perfectly. They don't reject authority because of rebellious temperament alone. They reject it because external authority fundamentally contradicts their cosmic design. As self-initiating beings, they are designed to generate direction from within rather than receive it from without. Following others' directions therefore feels not just uncomfortable, but cosmically incorrect, a misalignment with their essential nature as self-determining beings. What makes this need for freedom particularly resistant to control is its connection to the Aries identity at the deepest level. For many signs, behavior and identity remain somewhat separate. They can adapt their actions without feeling their core self is compromised. But for Aries, action and identity are inseparable. How they move through the world, the choices they make, the directions they take. These aren't just behaviors, but direct expressions of their essential self. Attempting to control these expressions therefore registers as an attack on their very identity. The Aries response to freedom restriction follows a predictable intensity curve. Initial attempts at control typically meet with straightforward resistance, a simple no or redirection. If the restriction persists, the response escalates dramatically, releasing reserves of passionate intensity that often shock those witnessing it for the first time. This isn't emotional immaturity, but rather an appropriate response to what Aries experiences as a fundamental threat to their existence as autonomous beings. This freedom imperative extends beyond major life decisions to the minute details of daily existence. Observe an Aries reaction to having their schedule dictated, their movements prescribed, or their methods specified. Even in seemingly trivial matters, they maintain an insistence on determining their own approach. This isn't pettiness, but consistency, a recognition that freedom must be maintained in small matters to preserve it in larger ones, that autonomy is indivisible and must be protected at every scale. The combination of these two cosmic forces, stubborn commitment to their path and primal need for freedom, creates a being who exists fundamentally beyond conventional control. Like trying to redirect a river or command the wind, attempting to control an Aries doesn't just face practical challenges, but confronts cosmic impossibility. Their nature itself consists of self-determination, their essence defined by autonomous choice and movement. This understanding transforms how we might approach relationship with Aries. The wise path isn't attempting control, which inevitably fails while damaging connection, but rather aligning with their direction through authentic resonance. Like planets orbiting a star, we can move in harmony with their gravitational field without attempting to alter their course. This approach recognizes and honors the essential Aries nature, while creating space for meaningful connection that doesn't compromise their cosmic design as self-determining beings. As we've explored these fourth and fifth reasons why Aries remains beyond control, we begin to understand that their resistance isn't personal but cosmic, not a rejection of others, but an affirmation of their authentic nature as beings designed for autonomous movement and absolute commitment to their chosen truth. The sixth reason, their childlike enthusiasm creates an impenetrable bubble of optimism. In the cosmic architecture of Aries, perhaps no quality renders them more immune to control than their remarkable, almost supernatural optimism. This isn't the cautious hope that other signs might cultivate after careful consideration of probabilities. Rather, it's an unshakable faith in positive outcomes that exists prior to evidence, that persists despite contradictory experiences, that creates its own reality through the sheer force of expectation. Where others see warning signs, Aries perceives only exciting challenges. Where others recognize insurmountable obstacles, Aries sees opportunities for heroic triumph. This optimism has neurological foundations. The Aries brain appears uniquely configured to emphasize positive possibilities while filtering negative probabilities. This isn't delusion, but a different relationship with reality itself, one where potential supersedes precedent, where vision outweighs evidence, where what might be holds greater weight than what has been. Their neural pathways prioritize opportunity recognition over threat assessment, creating a consciousness that naturally gravitates toward possibility rather than limitation. The childlike quality of this optimism reveals its true power. Children believe in possibilities that adults have learned to dismiss, not because children are naive, but because they haven't yet internalized artificial limitations. Aries maintains this original relationship with possibility throughout life, refusing to accept that something is impossible simply because others have failed to achieve it. This isn't ignorance, but wisdom, a recognition that many impossibilities are merely conventions rather than laws, agreements rather than absolutes. Observe an Aries entrepreneur facing statistical improbability of success. While others might hesitate, calculating risks and contemplating failure, Aries proceeds with absolute conviction that they will be the exception, that their particular venture will succeed, despite overwhelming odds against it. Remarkably, this conviction often creates precisely the exceptional results they envision. Their optimism becomes self-fulfilling, not through magical thinking, but through the tangible advantages that unwavering belief creates. Persistence beyond normal limits, energy that inspires others, creativity unrestrained by doubt. This optimistic bubble creates a fascinating immunity to cautionary control. Most attempts to influence through warning rely on triggering fear or doubt, emotional states that the Aries consciousness simply doesn't prioritize or sustain. Telling an Aries, "It can't be done," or "You'll probably fail," doesn't induce reconsideration. It provokes greater determination, transforming discouragement into challenge. Their optimism acts as a psychological filter, converting negative input into positive fuel for forward movement. The spiritual dimension of this optimism reveals its true depth. Aries doesn't maintain positive expectations merely as a psychological strategy, but as an expression of cosmic faith, a bone-deep certainty that the universe rewards courage and authentic action. This isn't superficial positivity, but profound trust in a fundamental cosmic principle, that creation favors those who initiate with conviction, that the universal energy supports those aligned with their true nature, rather than those constrained by conventional limitations. What appears as naive enthusiasm to outside observers often reflects a sophisticated understanding of how reality actually works. Aries intuitively grasps what quantum physics has recently confirmed, that observation affects outcome, that consciousness influences physical reality, that expectation shapes experience in measurable ways. Their optimism isn't wishful thinking, but practical application of this understanding, a strategic approach to reality creation through the power of unwavering belief. The Aries relationship with failure illuminates the power of their optimistic bubble. Where many signs might experience failure as evidence to reconsider their approach or even their goals, Aries typically experiences it as valuable feedback, as a necessary step toward the eventual success. This isn't denial, but a different temporal perspective, one where setbacks are viewed as temporary while the ultimate vision remains certain. This relationship with failure creates remarkable resilience, an ability to maintain momentum and direction, despite obstacles that would derail more cautious signs. This optimistic bubble extends beyond their own endeavors to their perception of others. And Aries typically sees not who you are, but who you could become, focusing on potential rather than limitation. This isn't blind faith, but visionary perception, an ability to recognize latent possibilities that haven't yet manifested. This quality makes them exceptional leaders, capable of inspiring others toward achievement beyond their perceived limitations. Their optimism becomes contagious, elevating those around them toward greater possibility. The combination of this unshakable optimism with the Aries capacity for immediate action creates a particularly potent form of reality creation. While others might hold positive visions but hesitate to act on them, Aries transforms vision into action without delay. This immediate embodiment of optimistic expectation generates momentum that often overcomes obstacles through sheer force of movement. They don't just believe in positive outcomes. They create them through the velocity of their conviction-fueled action. The childlike quality of Aries optimism connects directly to their cosmic position as the first sign of the Zodiac. As the astrological infant, they maintain the original wisdom that comes before learned limitation. Young children don't question whether they can accomplish something. They simply try with full expectation of success. This primal relationship with possibility remains intact in Aries throughout life, undiminished by the accumulation of experiences that teach others to limit their expectations and constrain their ambitions. This optimistic bubble creates a remarkable immunity to manipulation through negative social conditioning. Where many signs gradually internalize collective beliefs about what's possible or appropriate, Aries maintains an almost supernatural resistance to limitation-based programming. Their internal compass consistently overrides external messaging, maintaining their original relationship with boundless possibility despite society's constant attempts to instill reasonable boundaries and tempered expectations. The Aries optimism has alchemical properties, an ability to transmute what others perceive as negative into positive opportunity. Job loss becomes freedom to pursue passion. Relationship ending becomes opportunity for new connection. Project failure becomes valuable learning. This alchemical optimism isn't denial of reality, but transformation of it, a refusal to accept conventional interpretations of experience, and a determination to extract positive value from every circumstance. This impenetrable bubble of optimism becomes particularly evident in how Aries approaches seemingly impossible goals. While others might carefully analyze feasibility before committing resources, Aries often launches toward objectives that experts would deem unachievable. This isn't recklessness but cosmic alignment, a recognition that human history consistently demonstrates that boundaries of possibility expand precisely through the efforts of those who refuse to accept current limitations as final. What makes this optimism particularly resistant to control is its regenerative quality. Setbacks that would deplete the confidence of other signs often seem to strengthen Aries' conviction, like a muscle that grows stronger through resistance. Their optimism actually intensifies when challenged, developing greater resilience through each encounter with apparent impossibility. This creates a being whose faith in positive outcomes doesn't diminish, but actually expands through life experience, becoming more rather than less pronounced with age. The Aries optimism connects to their relationship with time itself. While many signs become increasingly cautious with age, measuring possibility against accumulated evidence of limitation, Aries maintains an eternally youthful relationship with potential. Their orientation toward future possibility rather than past precedent creates a consciousness relatively unburdened by the weight of history, free to perceive fresh opportunity in each new moment regardless of previous experience. This combination of childlike enthusiasm and unwavering optimism creates the final and perhaps most powerful immunity to control. How do you discourage someone who transforms discouragement into challenge? How do you instill doubt in someone whose optimism actually strengthens when confronted with apparent impossibility? How do you impose limitations on someone who perceives them not as boundaries, but as invitations to expansion? As we conclude our exploration of these cosmic reasons why Aries exists beyond the reach of control, we recognize that their untamable nature isn't obstinacy, but authenticity, an alignment with their essential design as self-determining beings whose natural state is boundless possibility, pursued with unwavering conviction. Their resistance to control isn't rejection of connection, but protection of the very qualities that make them such powerful forces for creation, transformation, and expansion. The wisdom lies not in attempting to control these fiery beings, but in aligning with their direction, in recognizing that their independence isn't opposition to relationship, but the foundation for authentic connection based on mutual freedom rather than mutual constraint. In a universe designed for perpetual expansion, Aries represents the essential principle of new beginnings, a force that by its very nature must remain free to initiate, to pioneer, to forge new paths beyond the boundaries of what currently exists. As we've journeyed through the cosmic landscape of Aries, we've unveiled the 6 fundamental reasons why these fiery beings exist beyond the reach of control. From their warrior spirit fueled by Mars energy, to their divine self-belief, from their lightning-quick decisions that outpace influence, to their spiritual stubbornness, from their need for freedom as life force, to their impenetrable bubble of optimism. These qualities combine to create individuals who are designed by the universe itself to remain sovereign, self-determining forces of nature. The Aries spirit represents something essential, not just to astrology, but to the human experience itself. They embody our collective yearning for authentic self-expression, unbound by artificial limitation. They manifest the primal human desire for freedom, for self-determination, for the courage to forge new paths beyond established boundaries. In their refusal to be controlled, they reflect our highest potential as beings capable of creating new realities through the force of conviction and immediate action. What we learn from Aries isn't just about one astrological sign, but about the nature of creation itself. The universe expands not through careful adherence to established patterns, but through bold initiatives that push beyond known territory. Aries embodies this cosmic principle of expansion, serving as living channels for the creative force that continually extends the boundaries of what exists. Their resistance to control isn't selfishness, but cosmic alignment, a recognition that true creation can emerge only from authentic self-determination. The wisdom in understanding these 6 reasons lies not in developing better methods of influence, but in transforming how we approach relationship with these fiery beings. Instead of attempting to control, which inevitably fails while damaging connection, we might learn to align with their direction, to move in harmony with their momentum, to recognize that their independence isn't rejection of connection, but the foundation for authentic relationship based on mutual freedom rather than mutual constraint. For those with Aries in their lives, whether as partners, friends, family members, or colleagues, this understanding offers a profound shift in approach. Rather than experiencing their untamable nature as opposition or difficulty, we might recognize it as their greatest gift, the capacity to initiate new possibilities, to maintain unwavering faith when others doubt, to demonstrate through living example that many limitations exist only in our minds rather than in cosmic reality. If you found yourself nodding in recognition as we've explored these 6 reasons, whether you're an Aries yourself or someone who loves these fiery spirits, we invite you to continue this cosmic journey with us at Secret of the Zodiac. Our mission extends beyond mere entertainment to provide genuine insight into the cosmic forces that shape our experiences and relationships. We are dedicated to unveiling the deeper wisdom behind astrological knowledge, transforming ancient understanding into practical guidance for modern life. Your support makes this mission possible. By subscribing to our channel, you join a community of seekers dedicated to understanding the cosmic blueprint that shapes our individual and collective experience. Each subscription strengthens our ability to continue providing these insights, to expand our exploration of zodiac wisdom beyond surface interpretations to the profound truths that can transform how we navigate our life journeys. We invite you not just to consume this content, but to engage with it actively. Share your experiences in the comments below. How have you witnessed these Aries qualities in yourself or others? Which of these 6 reasons resonates most powerfully with your personal experience? Your contribution enriches our collective understanding, creating a tapestry of shared wisdom that benefits everyone in our astrological community. If you found value in today's exploration, please consider supporting our work through Super Thanks. This form of financial contribution helps cover the substantial costs of daily content creation, research, and production. Your generosity through Super Thanks directly enables us to maintain our commitment to daily uploads, to deepen our research into astrological wisdom, and to continue providing this content without compromise. Every contribution, regardless of size, makes a tangible difference in our ability to sustain and expand this cosmic journey. Before you leave, take a moment to explore our extensive library of zodiac insights. From compatibility guides to monthly forecasts, from deep dives into specific signs to exploration of how planetary movements affect your personal experience, our channel offers a comprehensive resource for anyone seeking to understand the cosmic forces that shape their journey. Each video provides another piece of the celestial puzzle, another key to unlocking your highest potential. The stars have guided human experience since the dawn of consciousness, offering wisdom to those willing to contemplate their patterns and meanings. At Secret of the Zodiac, we're dedicated to translating this ancient wisdom into practical guidance for contemporary lives, to bridging the gap between cosmic knowledge and daily experience. With your continued support through subscriptions, likes, comments, and super thanks contributions, we can continue illuminating the path toward greater understanding, authentic expression, and cosmic alignment. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the untamable Aries spirit. Until our next cosmic journey, may the stars illuminate your path with clarity, courage, and boundless possibility.